you've ever driven past a home and thought, that place has so much potential, but then wondered how you'd ever afford to fix it up, you're not alone. Today we're talking about something that can truly be a game changer for buyers, first-time home buyers, second-time home buyers, anytime home buyers, even investors. Renovation loans on fixer-uppers. These loans can help you purchase a home and roll the cost of repairs right into your mortgage, making homes that once felt out of reach actually possible. We're seeing this play out in real time with our newest listing at 1513 Yeagle Avenue in Prospect Park. It's a great example of a property with solid bones and lots of potential. But what really matters is understanding how to finance it the right way. That's why we've put together a renovation loan comparison, which you can find on our Facebook page at the Rich Small Team. So you could clearly see your options, your payments, and what makes the most sense for your situation.
Welcome to Small
Because
Talk
the truth
with Rich
is,
and Lisa, where
the
we keep
right
it
loan
real,
can turn a
keep it simple,
maybe house
and help
into
you make
the
smarter
perfect
decisions
house.
without all the fluff. I'm Lisa, and we're going to talk about buying a house that you can fix up and roll all of your costs for renovations right into your mortgage.
That you can fix up and roll all of your costs for renovations right into your mortgage. So let's get into this. If you put $40,000 worth of renovations into this home, that would give you a loan amount on an FHA 203K loan, that's their renovation loan for FHA. You would put 3.5% down, and that would give you a loan amount of $202,650. Let's say your interest rate was 6.5%. Your principal and interest would be $1,280. Your property taxes would be $407 per month. They're actually per year $4,886 per year. Insurance, we'll just say roughly about $100 per month. And then you have your MIP, which is mortgage insurance premium, that any time you get an FHA loan, you're going to pay MIP. And that's about $140 a month. So your total monthly payment is roughly $1,927. Okay? And that means you've done the renovations, $40,000 worth into the home. It's key takeaways here. On an FHA 203K, you get a lower down payment, the 3.5%. And we'll talk about the HomeStyle conventional loan after, which is a little bit higher on the down payment. You have a slightly higher payment due to the MIP, the mortgage insurance premium. And you have a more flexible approval because on an FHA loan, they don't look at credit as strictly as a conventional loan would. So if you have any credit issues and there's an explanation for that, say you lost a job, or if there was a death in the family and you went behind on bills, FHA will look at that even if your credit score is low. So they don't have an actual credit score minimum, but the lenders usually do. However, if you can prove that this was a one-time event, it's not a bad habit that you just don't pay your bills, that can help you still to get a loan. So that's why FHA is a great program for some people coming out of some difficult situations. The HomeStyle conventional loan, this is for home buyers and it's also for investors. Now, there are some nuances with the investor part of it because it has to be a single family dwelling for an investor to be able to use this program. And also, an investor can only own up to 4 units. So if you're an investor and you have 10 properties or 4 properties already, this won't work for you. But if you're just starting out, it is something that you may want to consider. And it's a great way to get into investing in real estate. So, and let me just say this, whether you're investing in real estate to live in the property or to renovate the property and flip it or rent it out, you are a real estate investor. Because anytime we put our money, our own capital into real estate, we are investing in real estate. So I just wanted to bring that up and make that clear because a lot of people don't realize that. So on the HomeStyle conventional loan, your loan amount based on this criteria that I gave you, and this is all based on your primary residence. So the payments and the interest rate will be different if it's for an investor. Those interest rates usually are higher. Your loan amount would be $199,500 because your down payment will be 5% instead of 3.5% like on the FHA 203K loan. Your interest rate, say it's about 6.75%. That will bring your principal and interest to $1,295. Then you add on top of that your property taxes of $407 and about $100 per month on your homeowner's insurance. And then because you're not putting 20% down, you will have to pay PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. That amount will come to about $120. So that would bring your total monthly payment to about $1,922 per month. And this is just an estimate. I also want to make clear that this may not include the trash and sewer payment with the borough, because on public records, most of the time you're not going to see the trash and sewer, the bill listed with the property taxes. So whatever that may be, that's going to be added on top of that. And I don't actually have that information handy at the moment. Once you get to 80% loan to value, which means your mortgage balance goes down, your value goes up. So you have 20% equity in the property. Once that point comes around, you can get an appraisal, which you would have to pay for. And if the value is enough to let that private mortgage insurance go, then they'll take that $120 off of your monthly payment. So that will bring your payment down. So that's a good thing. On FHA, as long as you have FHA loan, or if you refinance and you get another FHA loan, you will always have MIP, the mortgage insurance premium. It can never go away unless you refinance into a conventional loan and you have 80% loan to value. So some important notes. What this means for buyers on the FHA side, what this means for buyers is payments are very similar between the two. But the real difference is the upfront cash. FHA is lower, it's 3.5%. And the long-term savings with the HomeStyle is actually a little better. Some important notes. There's realistic estimates, but they're still estimates. And it's just, we're just doing this just as an example to give people an idea of what can be done with the right loan. Rates change daily. So these rates are not actual rates. These are just examples that we're using. PMI varies based on credit score. So if your credit score is higher, you will have a more favorable PMI factor that they use, which will give you a lower PMI rate. Taxes always need to be verified, and lenders will always make sure that that's the case. But like I said, this probably doesn't include the trash and sewer. So the payments that I'm quoting here will probably be a little bit higher on that. So that's it for that. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention who watches this. And if you have any questions, we would love to talk to you about it and help you get pre-approved for whether you buy this property or another house. We also would love to be able to recommend some great loan officers that we've dealt with for many years and that are seasoned and excellent at what they do. That's very important. As real estate agents, we know who's going to get you settlement. So it's always best to check with a real estate agent and get recommendations. We don't make any money from recommending them, no kickbacks. That's illegal. We also have, with RealtyMark, a title company. Our title company is Interstate Abstract. We'll have the lowest fees for title insurance that is allowed by law. So it's just a great benefit. It makes it easier for us as your agent to be able to keep an eye on everything and to make sure that your transaction is going along as smoothly as possible. So, if today's conversation got you thinking about buying a fixer-upper, or you're curious about what a renovation loan could look like for you, we'd love to help walk you through it. Every situation is different, and sometimes all it takes is seeing the numbers side by side to bring clarity. You can reach out to us and we'll be happy to break it down in a way that actually makes sense. Thanks for spending a little time with me today on Small Talk with Rich and Lisa. If this was helpful, be sure to share it with someone who's been thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Until next time, keep it simple, stay informed, and take that next step with confidence. Thanks for watching.